So a lot of times when we practice, we wear clothes that let us be fast because fast is fun. But that's not always what we're going to be wearing, especially in the winter. As an example today, I've got on leather gloves, I've got on a wool coat, I've got on a fleece, and I've got on a t-shirt underneath it, all over the top of an in-waistband holster. And is it possible to get to it quickly? Well, if you practice, it may not be super fast, but it will be smooth and consistent. You're still going to run into problems, but these are problems that you want to run into in training and not run into them for the first time when there's consequences. So as an example, what I do is I clear my coat with my shooting hand. I clear the pistol. I clear the shirt and undershirt with my support hand, and then I grip and do a regular presentation. Now what happens if my fleece and my shirt get around the pistol? Well, I work with it. I figure it out. You figure this stuff out in training so that it's not an issue when lives are on the line. So what kind of speed can you expect? Well, I'm going to be shooting for 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds instead of my normal 1 second. So let's see how that looks. And that was 1.67. Let's do that again. Fumble, and still got the shot off. It was about 2.5. So the fumble added about a second. But again, that's stuff that you want to work through. You don't want it to trip you up. .6 again. Let's do it from the side once. .54. Not lightning fast, but it's getting the gun into the fight in a time where it can actually make a difference. So, what about when you're zipped up? That adds another layer of complexity. What I do in this situation is I rake, and then I grab the pistol. Sometimes I do it in front, so rake, get the gun into it. This is going to be much closer to 2 seconds. With a barn coat, it doesn't work. You got to go to something else, either pocket carry or breakaway snaps or something like that. But let me show you with the coat shut how that looks. And that was 1.78. Notice I leaned over to the side. What I did by doing that is I reduced the distance that I needed to lift my cover, and I also reduced the chances of a fumbled draw because of my fleece or my undershirt getting caught up on the pistol. Let's do one more of those. Now that was kind of interesting. I shot that from a compressed position where I had peripheral awareness of where the gun was pointed, and what you can't see is there's a 4-inch tree about 15 feet away that I'm shooting, and that was 1.5 seconds. But all this to say, if you put in the time with the clothes that you normally wear, you can get good at it. It may not be as fast, it probably won't be as fast as when you're running in ideal clothes, but it's realistic, and that's really what we want to do. Is we want to train for realistic scenarios. Obviously, I can't move and run safely in this situation and still remain in the camera, but that's something that you'd want to do too. Is you'd want to start adding movement while you're clearing your cover and getting your gun into the fight. For more training tips, training ideas, and step-by-step training guides for how to train for real-world gunfights, how to learn skills quicker, how to retain them longer, and how to have them transfer over to the real world better by using real-world context, accelerated learning, and performance neurology, I want to encourage you to go to Real World Gunfight Training and check it out. We've got some free downloads there, got an incredible book that you can read, and if you want to check out a video presentation on how to train for the real world, not for the range, not for competition, but for real world situations, I want to encourage you to check out dynamicgunfighter.com.